Chapter 2 The City of Dis. It is time we talked, a familiar voice said. Who is this? Where am I? Clemo asked. You are between hells. I will return you after we talk. Jason, I will destroy all of you devils. Be calm, Clemo. I am not a devil. Do you not recognize my voice? We fought together when I was alive. You are the one who released me from my torment. You killed me. Everything was white. A figure started to materialize. Clemo narrowed his eyes, trying to make out the person. Only robes and their dark skin were made out. You do seem familiar, but it makes no sense who or what you are. I will not fall for a trick of the devil's. He stepped fully into view, revealing his hairless head, reflected a glow from the halo floating above it. The robes were feathery. Mark Johnson? Yes, Clemo. Clemo relaxed, feeling the divine radiance, knowing this could not be a trick. Why are you talking to me? Sabin has sent me, Clemo. I am to talk sense into you. But Sabin surely desires my demise for taking part in the deaths of guardian and deity. If Sabin were a devil god, yes, he would. It is not too late for you to redeem yourself. How? Continue on your quest to destroy the nine hells. However, yes? You cannot side with evil. Jarius must be killed at all costs. You cannot allow him to tame the other 8 hell boxes. I've been trying to kill him. He's powerful. Jason's prevented me from doing it each time I have tried. Sabin knows. Sabin knows everything you know. He can see through your eyes. Clemo, you still have faith. You have not given up on Sabin like Jason has. You need to stop Jarius at all costs. Should he become Cretan again, it will be far worse than if the hells controlled all reality. Our time is over, Clemo. Stop him at all costs. The surrounding witness brightened to a blinding light, making Clemo's vision impossible. Darkness, stone, dangled chains, and a maddening silence stretched out in every direction. Dis looked akin to the inside of a massive castle. The ceiling was 30 feet high. This corridor stretched on for miles, intersecting with other vast corridors of similar style. Examining the walls showed a thin layer of slime. A grotesque feeling came over Clemo at the sight of this substance that covered every wall. The stench of it was atrocious to his senses. Walking these endless halls filled him with a disturbed feeling. He expected to be knee-deep in constant combat, yet being met with no battle unnerved him. Jason, I have too many questions. How will we kill Jarius? He is a step ahead of us. Why aren't we met with devils trying to kill us? Mark talked to me in between hells. What? Be calm, Clemo. I have no answers for you. All we can do is focus on here and now. The tortured screams of the damned were very different here from the first hell. Back there, their agony was from the burning flame. Their pain existed from being cast into the wasteland left to rot for all eternity. The city of Dist was vastly different. Each and every soul here had their very own personal hell. As Clemo and Jason walked the halls, they passed by rooms each with a singular soul. Some souls were suspended in the air by hooks, having their flesh pulled, ripped, and torn apart from their bones. Hooks and chains tormented too many of these individuals to count. There were devils of torment that delighted in causing this agony. Those chain devils took great pride in their work. Any given chiton, chain devil, had roughly over 100 souls to personally look after. Everyone's suffering differed based on their own displeasure. Jason made a point to pay no attention to the suffering of the damned. Clemo reluctantly agreed that there were bigger problems to worry about. The souls of the second hell were guilty of the second offense of the gods, those that delight in the suffering of others. Whether it was through direct causation or merely from observing those in pain, These wretched souls had been deemed worthy of eternal torment for their sadistic nature. The good gods want nothing to do with them. Thus, without putting up a fight, the 9 evil ones have always been free to decide their eternal fate. Despator, the god of the second hell, deemed this a fitting damnation for those happy to find misery in others. The plan was to beat Jarius to the second hell box, then destroy Despator. After that, the third hell was next. Clemo knew this, though his goal of killing Jarius could not be deterred, even if Jason insisted. Jason, Clemo was cut off by Jason, quickly waving his hand to silence his friend. Clemo, we have a long journey here, and my concentration cannot be diverted. My focus must remain. Should I get distracted, I would not be able to protect us. Do you understand? Yes. Clemo lied, pretending to understand so as not to distract his friend from whatever hell Jason was keeping at bay. Jason made no expression. They walked through the endless corridors with no clue as to where to go. I could help you, a voice inside of Jason's mind said. Who is this? Jason did not slow down his pace, nor did he give any indication to Clemo about his telepathic conversation. You know who I am. Jarius. You went too far by taking control of Clemo. We will kill you. No words will save you the next time we meet. I know. I don't care. We have work to do, you and I. Unbelievable. Are you even listening to me? Yes, you will kill me on sight the next time we meet. Trust me, you won't. However, that doesn't mean we can't work together until then. Absurd. You sure have the biggest balls, Jarius. Relax, my psychic creation. You want to destroy hell, and I want those hell boxes. No point in compounding our problems by trying to kill each other. You should have thought about that before you mind-controlled Clemo. Clemo was a tool to use. Those dragons were a threat. Justify yourself as much as you want. You will die next time we meet. Then you are ready to work with me until then? Just tell me what you want. Have your astral projection meet mine. From there, I want your help going through the worst part of hell. Clever. Jarius, you are more powerful than any god, even now. Why would you even need my help? Stop wasting time. Do what I say, and you will get your goal all the faster. My goal right now is to kill you. Well, you can't kill me if you can't find me. Besides, you get to keep an eye on me on the way. Jason could think of no way to deny his logic. His thoughts were silent for a long moment. Fine. Where? Psychic energy pulsated around his head as his consciousness split, half exiting his body, while the other half maintained control over his psychic form. Oh, one thing you will need to know. All of your powers will be useless. Be prepared for that. Their astral projections met in a silent alleyway within the city of Dis. They were alone. This will take a very long time. You have no idea what terrible horrors await us, Jarius said. I refuse to go uninformed. What can I expect? Waving his astral hand casually, Jarius responded, For starters, no magic, psychic force, divinity, or physical ability can do anything where we are going. He paused, giving Jason a chance to interject. The psychic said nothing. We go to the center of Dis, and in all honesty, the worst place hell has. You will need Form 37 AC 9-24 in order to file that request, the red-skinned devil said from behind their desk. He was a peculiar-looking creature, small, squat, wearing a jacketless suit revealing his suspenders and a blank expression of indifference. Jarius looked around at the office space. To his left, right, and as far as he saw were countless desks with devils behind each one of them, dealing with their different clients. Behind Jason was a line stretching farther than his ordinary eyes perceived. The other clients ranged from devils, demons, mortals, souls, and even a few angels. He attempted to manifest a power, squinting his eyes, concentrating. Nothing happened. Not even a spark of psychic energy. Jarius extended his hand forward. "Give me that form," he said to the same devil. "I am sorry." The devil was cut off by Jarius. "Do you have any idea who I am?" Picking up a paper with one hand and spectacles with the other, the devil proceeded to examine the paper. Squinting, he spoke. "You are, or were, Lord Master Cretan," he continued with his uncaring, dry, hoarse tone. "You created all of us in the previous universe. You reincarnated yourself into this current multiverse as one—" "That's enough," Jarius growled. "Are you sure, sir?" the devil asked. "I have all of your misdeeds written here in front of me. You do belong in hell. Of this I can assure you." Jarius gritted his teeth. "That is not why we are here." Jason raised his finger. "Excuse me," he aggressively interjected, "but I would like to see all of his misdeeds." Jarius waved his hand in between Jason and the devil at the desk. "Stop wasting time, Jason." "How is that wasting time?" Jason said with a half-smile. You have been inside of my head. You know everything I know." "Next," the devil shouted to the soul waiting in line. "Hold on now. We aren't done here." Jarius waved his fist in an empty gesture. Jarius and Jason vanished in a puff of smoke. The soul hovered forward to meet this bureaucratic devil. Yes, I think there was a mistake in me being here." "Oh?" the devil said in a sarcastic, surprised tone. "Let's see what we can do about this terrible mistake." Jason and Jarius appeared in a puff of smoke, standing behind a large demon waiting in line. Ahead of them, the line continues farther than their eyes could see. Behind them, more clients appeared in the same puff of smoke. Jarius fumed with anger. Jason shook a small stack of papers in his hands. "Look at that! He was nice enough to give me the list of your misdeeds. This will be a long wait. At least I have something to read." "I didn't create this hell, you know," Jarius spouted. "Yes, I know. One of those devil princes did. You created him and he created this place. Technically, you created this place," Jason said. "I created you. Does that mean I get credit for everything you do?" Jason read the papers, ignoring the question. "Oh, look at this!" He pointed at the paper while smiling at Jarius. "According to this—" Jason was cut off. "I already know I killed my family. I am not bothered by that." "Oh, no, not that. According to this, you actually stole candy from a baby." Jarius stared at Jason, squinting his eyes, thinking, "Is he serious?" He opened his mouth to speak, but was at a loss for words. He shook the papers while speaking. "Well, they were 12, but I just gotta know why you did that," Jarius sighed. "What form did that devil say we need?" 37 AC 9-24. Do not change the subject. I want to know about this candy thievery. "How do you think we will get this form?" Jarius asked, still ignoring the question. Jason flipped to the next page. "No idea. Hey, now look at this." He pointed at the first sentence. "You beat up an old lady. Never mind the child's candy. I want to know about this." Clemo and Jason. "You've been awfully quiet, my friend," Clemo commented. Jason almost didn't hear him. His face was focused, concentrating on maintaining his dual thought process. "Jason?" "Yes, Clemo." "Where are we going?" Jason stopped running. He placed his hand on his head, then looked at Clemo with frustration in his eyes. "I've been looking for the Hellbox and Despator since we got here. I cannot locate either one." "Are they shielded?" "The Hellbox no doubt is. Despator, though. He should be easy to find. A torture devil god that does not want to be found doesn't make much sense to me." Clemo looked around, attempting to formulate an idea. Why don't we just ask someone? Jason frowned at the question, looking at his companion with dubious suspicion. Clemo, I. Then his eyes straightened out with an idea. I like that idea. Why not? Follow me. The two turned a corner, rushing into a nearby room containing one of the many chitons torturing some poor damn soul. The chiton turned to the intruders immediately. How dare you interrupt my pleasures? You will suffer. The room was covered in chains that flailed as the chain devil turned his full attention to Jason and Clemo. Jason waved his hand, causing every scrap of chain metal to evaporate within the room. I'm sorry, you were going to what? The chiton rushed forward, lunging at Clemo, who in turn teleported the thing's head off. Clemo chuckled. Devils are easier to kill than demons. Yes, when you catch them off guard, they are. I was hoping to avoid something like this, though. Jason held up his finger to prevent Clemo from saying anything. You see, my friend, they are now completely aware of our presence. It won't be long now before they attack us endlessly. Please, sir, the motionless soul pleaded from the floor. Clemo picked him up and began strapping him to his back. Clemo, it is a bad idea to take pity on the damned like this. Fission said. I don't care, Clemo responded. Jason shrugged. It doesn't matter. Take him, leave him, up to you, friend. We aren't going to stay here, though. Jason focused his psychic energy. A power surrounded them. I am attempting to camouflage us. Jason felt silly for saying that. The room flooded with a mist that did not pierce the mental barrier Jason set up. Green gas flowed all around. Only Clemo saw through, but even he had to squint to get a decent look. Claws, chains, and horns were seen, yet uncountable within that mist. The three vanished, teleporting away. They reappeared back in the hallway, which had the same green gas spread out. Clemo, your eyes will have to guide us. Stay close to me. The devils shouldn't be able to hear or see us. However, they can touch us, so do be careful. Clemo stepped in front of Jason, leading the way. The soul on his back was slumped over his head, laying lethargically. Might as well tell your story, poor soul. I was damned here, by no fault of my own, Jason chuckled. Is that what you keep telling yourself? Tell your tale, Clemo commanded. My name is Michael Geoffrey. I lived my life in Babylon. I spent my entire life studying evil in order to vanquish it. The gods even blessed me with powers in order to neutralize magics. You were a witch hunter, Jason interrupted. Yes, how did you know? I knew you when you were alive. You even captured me at one point. I have been tortured for years. I do not understand why the gods have damned me. I know why they damned you, but I want to hear you tell your life story first, Jason said. I was raised to be a righteous man. I did everything that correlated with Guardian's will. I helped those in need. I was a good man. Jason lifted Michael's head from Clemo's shoulders. No, you were not a good man. You took pleasure in killing anyone that was not human or practiced magic. You tried to have me put on trial for being psychic. You belong here, Michael. Jason, did he really try to kill you? Clemo asked. He captured me, and you couldn't guess who came to my rescue. None other than Jarius Kane. That is when I met the evil wizard. Evil came to your aid? It sounds more like you belong here instead of me. Guardian has made a grievous error in placing me here, and allowed you to live. We killed Guardian. Your god is dead. Garrix, the devil god, wields his power now. That cannot be. Good always triumphs over evil. I should not be forsaken. I do not believe you. Clemo, I have heard enough. Clemo nodded his agreement, then removed Michael from his back, placing him on the ground. Please don't leave me. His pleas went unanswered as Jason and Clemo continued walking forward, abandoning him in the green mist. His torture screams caused by the things within the gas were all that could be heard, fading the farther they got. He took pleasure in the suffering of arcane users and non-humans alike. It is why he is here, Clemo. The two continued their journey. Jason and Jarius reached the front of the line. And what can I help you two with? The stubby devil said behind the desk. Form 37AC9-24, please, Jarius said. Oh, that form, huh? Well, you are in the line to find out what line to go to. You need to go to that line over there to obtain form 37AC9-24. The devil laughed as he pointed to the even longer line. This is absurd, Jarius screamed. You will give me what I want. Jarius and Jason vanished in a puff of smoke, reappearing in the back of the line that devil pointed at. I can see why you hate this hell, Jason chuckled. Jarius did not respond as he scowled his frustration. I don't see why you wanted me here, though. Because no power either of us possess can do anything here. That doesn't explain why you want me here. Would you believe me if I told you I just want company? Jason laughed. Company? You can't be serious. Jason, I am not sorry for anything I have done. I know you want me to feel some kind of remorse or guilt, but you know what? I am far beyond good and evil. No, you aren't. You invented evil. I have no desire to have a moral debate with you. Why not? Do you have anything better to do? Jason mocked. Besides, I know you have other motives. You have never experienced loneliness, so come clean as to why you are really here. I am going to need your help. You should have thought of that before you took over Clemo. Damn it, Jason. Clemo is not that important. We could destroy hell and every last god, then reshape the multiverse to anything we want. Do you honestly not see the bigger picture here? You are doing pretty well on your own. Why would you even want my help? Jarius smiled. You know something I don't. Yes, I do. Out with it. It was Jason's turn to scowl. How have you honestly not figured this out on your own? Tell me, Jason, what the biggest threat in hell is. You? I am flattered, but no. Asmodeus? No. Despator. How could a devil of torture honestly be a bigger threat than the master of hell? Guardian, Deity, Loth, and Dagon. They're dead, Jarius. Think about it. Jason cocked his head. Then it dawned on him. Fuck. Oh, those brilliant cogs finally turning in the massive head of yours. Seriously, how did you not figure this out sooner? Garrix. Yeah. You think he sits quietly, sipping booze from a coconut. No, Garrix is a force that becomes more powerful with each passing moment. He has the power of 5 gods. Jarius waved his hand. 6 by now. No doubt he has already killed Despator. How could I possibly stop him? His power grows exponentially, like mine, but on a multiversal scale. Jason looked around, frustrated. Now you understand why I want your help. And we sit here rotting in bureaucratic hell. We have to stop him. It was the evil wizard's turn to smile. What is this place? Clemo asked. We are still within the city of Dis, but this area is open. I have no idea what this is.
This is where you meet your end, Metamind.
A loud, booming voice from a distance said. The mist rolled back, revealing the entire area. This place was in the shape of a massive circle spanning over a mile in every direction. At the edge were countless rows of seats. Devils sat, observing. Jason and Clemo did not need to word their situation. These two were in an arena. Above was a glowing ceiling with, no doubt, protections preventing any form of escape. Jason, what do we do? Clemo asked. I do not think we have an option. We will have to fight. To earn our freedom or some such thing? No such reward awaits us, I am afraid. Looking into a probable future, I know what we will do. I am ready to fight, Clemo said. The fight will not end, my friend. They are going to send wave after wave, opponent after opponent, until we have no more fight left in us. Teleport out? I doubt we have that option. We will have to fight until I can come up with something. The first of many devil monsters appeared before them. It was a massive, hulking beast, already barreling its way to the two psychics. A very long time passed until Jarius and Jason reached the front of the line. Here is Form 37, AC 9-24, the devil said with a smile. The two vanished in another puff of smoke, finding themselves back at yet another line. The two conversed as Jarius filled it out. They have me and Clemo trapped, Jason informed. I am not surprised. What are you trapped in? A combat arena with no escape. Inevitable death. Your psychic powers will become exhausted given enough time. Conserve them as much as possible. Let me guess, you will save me if we work with you again. No, Jarius said bluntly. This is your chance, though. Explain. Yes, I could just as easily save you. I could heroically bust in there and get the two of you out of there. And what is stopping you from doing that? Jason asked. You will not be working with me, but for me. I'm not surprised that you take advantage of our disadvantage, nor should you be. His tone was annoyed. How do you plan on getting us out? I already said I don't. Then what was the point in having anything to do with me? You serve my purpose in your current situation. All of this is watching you. Using us as a distraction, Jarius nodded. From what? Their attention is diverted from what we do in here, in this bureaucratic hell. I believe you and Clemo will last long enough to ensure that. Jarius looked out to the front of the line. The distance was over a mile away. Besides, if you can't figure out how to get yourself out of this dilemma, then I don't want your help. Yet another massive foe fell to the ground, lifeless. Clemo held his swords at the ready. 3 more hours of non-stop combat passed. Jason and Jarius reached the front of the line. Jarius handed the devil the filled-out form. Can we see him now? Jarius asked. The devil looked at the form, frowning. You have filled out this paperwork without error. May I ask why you desire an audience with Despator himself? Stop wasting my time and send us to him, Jarius fumed. The devil half smiled, pointing to a small section in the middle of the form. If you fail, he has your soul immediately. You already signed it. Enjoy eternity in servitude, Lord Master Cretan. Jarius waved his hand, motioning for the devil to hurry up. Without another word, both Jarius and Jason vanished. Their astral projections found themselves in a massive room that resembled something akin to a modern business meeting room. They were already seated at one end of the table. At the other end sat a large demon wearing a business suit. His horns were on the sides of his hair that sat back in a ponytail. His hands were folded in front of him as he sat patiently. The room itself was casual. Beyond a few paintings and pictures decorating the walls, the table was only notable features in the room. Behind that devil, sitting down, were windows revealing the city of Dis from a high-up position. While Jason and Jarius did not look directly out of those windows, if they did, they would witness the arena that his physical body currently battled. Above that arena, and much further in the distance, a red dragon, far larger than any ever witnessed, loomed. The massive red carried itself with pride and confidence.
The Fire Lord is quite an amazing sight, wouldn't you agree?
The devil said, commenting on the dragon.
Dispator, I see Garrix has not gotten to you yet,
Jarius said, examining the devil sitting across from himself.
Or has he?
Dispator waved his hand, dismissing any insult within the wizard's words.
Yes, I have spoken to the Fire Lord. In his infinite mercy, he has decided to spare me. I am even allowed to maintain my position over the second hell.
Allowed, Jarius sarcastically said.
Yes, allowed, which is far more than I could say if you were in charge.
Dispator stood up, his massive body well kept under the business suit he wore. He paced back and forth as he spoke.
You made a foolish mistake by gambling your soul just to see me.
And, Jarius said.
So has he.
Dispator pointed at Jason, his long black fingernails showing. No, I haven't. I didn't sign anything. Dispator chuckled.
That doesn't matter. Merely by accompanying Jarius is equal to signing. You should have read the form.
Absurd. I do not forfeit my soul. You get nothing from me. Jason, devils do this. They use the rules they make to essentially do anything they want, Jarius said casually. Dispator shook his head.
I don't normally do this, but I will make a deal with the devil with you.
You wouldn't if you didn't have to, Jason shook his head. You get nothing from me, no deals, no agreements, nothing.
You have two choices, Metamind. You either go along with the contract your companion has filled out, or deny it like you are doing and forfeit your soul immediately. Just to let you know, I love it when they give up.
Jason snatched the papers from Jarius. He read it, while a strange feeling slowly crept over him. Something is watching me. Looking up, he looked straight into the eyes of the massive dragon outside over the city. The eyes of Garrix met his own. Jason felt his astral projection being absorbed into the Fire Lord. He quickly looked away and back to the form. Jarius chuckled. Yeah, Garrix would do that. Best to avoid his gaze. Jarius looked at Dispator. So you are no longer a god, are you?
The Fire Lord would have beaten me with no difficulty. Submitting to his will is the only way to survive. He has promised me a fine place just under him since I submitted without a fight. You are a fool to stand up to him.
Dispator pointed at Jarius and Jason. Jason stepped forward. What is the contest? According to this contract, we have to best you in some kind of contest. It says here that you get his soul if we lose. He Jason pointed at Jarius, gets that hell box of his. If we lose, I lose everything. What do I get if we win? Despator sat back down. His hand brushed across the top of his hair as he cleared his throat. With a simple smile, the former god spoke. You get to escape the arena. Jason frowned. Jarius elbowed him. Idiot, this is the only way you are going to get out of that arena. Even now my body fights. I don't have much psychic energy left. I couldn't last longer than 2 more hours. Klimo has maybe 30 minutes before he can no longer teleport, and will rely solely on his swords. A grin, larger than seemed possible, was worn by Despator. Good, it is settled then. He rubbed his hands together, then extended his left hand, snapping his fingers. Jason and Jarius vanished. Jason and Jarius opened their eyes, looking all around to figure out their surroundings. Jarius grabbed Jason by the right shoulder from behind. Be ready for anything. We have no idea what kind of contest this devil has set up for us. Jason smacked his hand away. Idiot! You bet my soul just to further your own goals? I am not surprised. Jason looked around. The area was a small enclosed room in the shape of a perfect cube. There were no doors and no windows, just the solid walls, ceiling, and floor. Jarius looked on the wall, gauging its hardness. It felt like solid rock. Holding his hand out, he attempted to fire an Eldritch Blast. Nothing happened. Placing his hand on his forehead, he attempted to manifest a psychic power. Nothing happened. Jarius waved his hand, attempting to cast a spell. Nothing happened. Why don't you summon your sword? Jason asked. Jarius shook his head. I need it with my body, like you. I am in constant combat. If I send that blade here, or break my concentration on it with my body, they would break through my defenses and kill me. You are fairly new at psychic powers, yet your astral project with no difficulty. Is your body in motion? Jarius asked. Nope. My sword protects it through, though. The devils found me a while ago. They keep sending wave after wave of lesser devils to die needlessly just to keep me from using that sword here and now. Jason felt the walls, moving his hands around, searching for a hidden switch or anything his eyes could not detect. Jerry shook his head. Despator designed this with the intention of stopping us. We need to figure out what the objective is to beat this. Without looking at Jarius, Jason continued to move his hands around the walls in search. That is obvious. We have to figure out how to escape this room. Do we have a time limit? We have no way of knowing, Jarius said. Jason turned his head to him with a confused, angry glare. I know. He didn't have to tell us anything about what we have to do. Devils are devious like that. There could be a time limit. Escape might not even be the goal. If Despator wanted, he could have made the goal for us to say some word in an obscure forgotten language. The only stability we have is that this contest or puzzle was pre-designed. Despator cannot interfere or change what he made for us to solve. And you agree to go along with this? I regret nothing. I really do need to kill you. Jason turned his attention back to the walls. Like I said, most likely the goal is to escape this room. Seems like that, doesn't it? Jarius said. Jason did not stop searching. He moved his search to the floor, kneeling down, touching every inch he could. You said he designed this specifically for us? Yes. How well do you think he knows us? Jason asked. He knows everything about us, Jarius said. Jason stopped searching. The goal cannot be to escape, then. He stood up straight. Jarius casually waved his hand without saying anything. He designed this for us, knowing everything about us. The goal cannot be something we would do. Jarius finished the sentence. But something we would never do.
And we would do anything to achieve our goals, wouldn't we? Jason asked. What haven't I done? Whom have I not killed? Who wouldn't I kill? Exactly. I believe the goal is to give up, Jason said. Pfft, Jarius scoffed. I'm not joking. That is the one thing we would never do. Jason sat down, crossing his legs. Despator is clever. He might have deduced beforehand that you might try that, Jarius said. I am ending my astral projection, thus trapping all of myself in that arena and inevitably losing. Jason closed his eyes, allowing the power to end. His astral body disappeared, leaving Jarius alone. Jason and Clemo blinked their eyes, realizing they were no longer in the arena. Clemo did not relax as he held his swords at the ready. Jason, what happened? Jason held up a hand. We can move on to the third hell. Jarius is one step ahead of us, and Despator is no longer a threat. How do we get there? Clemo asked expectantly. This way, a new voice said just in front of them. Forming its body out of the surrounding darkness, a shadowy devil appeared. Did Despator send you? Jason asked. This way to the third hell. You have earned safe passage. Hell is pure evil, but it always honors its deals, the thing said. Jason looked up to the sky of Dis. Garrix was long gone, moved on to the third hell. Jason turned to Clemo. My friend, do you remember what Jarius did to you to destroy those things back in the first hell? Yeah, what about it? Nothing for now. Come on, let's go to the third hell. Jason focused his psychic energy on the shadowy devil in front of him. The thing erupted into light, vaporizing instantly. Right after we take care of Despator, Jason and Clemo vanished. They reappeared in the same office that Despator was in earlier. Jason already had his hand pointing, palm out, towards the former devil god. We had a deal, Despator screamed. A deal I never agreed upon, Jason said, unleashing a psychic blast onto the devil. He vaporized immediately. Clemo turned to Jason. Holy shit, that was easy. Yes, it was. I am willing to bet that they will all be pushovers like this. Garrix is absorbing their divinity, leaving them with just enough power to do his bidding. Garrix has the power of 6 gods now? Jason didn't answer the question. The two teleported away. End of Chapter 2.